We all know how difficult decisions can be. We can stress over them, just drive ourselves nuts trying to decide what to do. Well, I have a way to help you relax about making a decision. And please stick with this till the end. It'll all come together and it'll make sense. It'll be a little bit weird as we get there, but don't worry about that. A lot of things I do are weird, so not a big deal. So anyways, we go in all these circles when we need to make a decision, and we can keep cycling through. We keep trying to collect data. We keep trying to say, well, what's going to be the best decision? You know, what's going to be the outcome of this? What happens if this? And then all these different factors. And Alan Watts, he said that we can go through this basically eternally, and we can never know all of the factors that will go into what will be the outcome of that decision. And so if we come across our choice and we make a snap decision, we're doing it without knowing all of the factors. But if we collect a whole bunch of information, and again, we can't have all of the details lined up for knowing exactly what's going to happen, we are essentially still making that uninformed snap decision, because any one of those things that we didn't factor in could be the thing that changes what we thought would be the outcome. So basically, you're making a snap decision, either whether you do it at the beginning or whether you do it at the end. And then I recently did another video that I want to link to, but I'm doing this one as a continuation of that, kind of putting it together of how do you use that information. And so that video was about the predestination, free will, and the block universe. So I will link that one. And in that idea of the block universe, we live in a single block of space and time. And so everything is happening at the same time. Everything has already happened, everything will already happen, and we're just sort of experiencing it. So kind of like a movie, the way the movie is laid out, and it's all already there, and you can skip to any part of that movie. So that's the simple version. Like I said, I'll link the video so you can take a look at it. So from my current perspective, my past self exists. They made choices. I am living through the consequences or the benefits of those choices. That is something that has happened, that I can look back, I can see, I can say, yes, that past me did these things, and now I am living through whatever those consequences are. So to past me, there is a future me, and that's the me right now, who exists as having lived through those choices. So I know I'm kind of saying the same thing again, but it's a little bit different. So past me is making and will make choices, but to me, they've already made those choices. So now, current me has a future self that exists with all of my choices. So every choice that I am presently making, that I will make, and all of the choices that past me made are all things that this future self that exists that they're dealing with. So any decision I make is the decision that I am going to make. And so again, it's kind of this circular thing, because when I was past me, there was a future me that already knew of and was dealing with those decisions that were made. And so now that I am current me, what I am is a past me to future me. So that future me already exists, already went through or is going through all of the consequences or benefits of the decisions that I make. And what that says is that any decisions that we make have already been made, and they're already the decisions that we will make because of the existence of these different selves, and the fact that they have already gone through or are going through or will go through any of the decisions that we make. So we have this free will but we have already made the decision that we're going to make. So I can think through stuff all I want. Anyways, we get to the point where we understand that it really doesn't matter. The decision that I'm going to make is the decision that I already did make. And it doesn't matter how I come to it. So I can collect that information forever and ever and never come up with all of the factors that are going to go into, what that decision is. So I'm never making that fully informed decision. And so I can drive myself as nuts as I want, or I can just know that since these decisions have already been made, I can't make a decision different than the one that was already made. So my past self can't make a decision different than the decision that my current self is living through. And my current self can't make a decision that is different than what my future self is living through. I hope that makes sense. Please mark and say something in the comments if it doesn't, if there's something that I can clarify. But the general idea here is how much you want to drive yourself nuts. How much energy and effort do you want to put into making a decision? Because, well, here's the funny part. You decide how much you want to drive yourself nuts making the decision. And so that's in itself another decision that you've already made. So if I'm trying to think something through right now, and I spend a lot of time, effort, energy trying to think it through, my future self is dealing with the consequences of my choice to drive myself nuts making that decision. So you could just decide to not drive yourself nuts making the decision and just kind of go with what your intuition tells you, because either way, you're going to end up making the same decision. It already happened according to future you, so there's not really a lot of reason to fight it. So why not just make some easy decisions, come to a decision that, number one, you're not going to drive yourself nuts making a decision, and number two, just go ahead and make the decision. And it's going, like I said, it's going to end up being whatever you were going to decide anyways. So you still end up in the same place. And that's not to say, if you need to make yourself feel better and you need to think something through, by all means, do it. I do it myself. I like to think things through, and usually what happens is I get to a point where I realize that I'm going in circles, and then I have to remind myself that there's no point in going in circles and that I can just go ahead and make the decision because I already made the decision, so it doesn't matter. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and be sure to hit like and share this with someone you like if you liked it. Share it with someone you don't like if you didn't. Have a great day.